All right, 21-17 was your final. The Eagles win it today. You know, we had Derek Gunn on last in a segment that normally that segment we would be present the player of the game, the player you can bank on. So tonight we're making Derek Gunn the player you can bank on, presented by great people at First Trust Bank, the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I have to remind you that holiday time is here, right? So we got to be thinking along with Kayla Santiago about the great values you're going to get at Mark's Jewelers. Kayla Santiago joins us with Kayla's Diamond Debate. Hello, Kayla.
Hello. There's so many fantastic things at Mark's Jewelers. We've seen the jewelry already up here on the desk plenty of times. You've got the white pearls that are beautiful, especially for the holidays, something that you'll definitely want to check out. So make sure you do go so at Mark's Jewelers. Let's get to our Diamond Debate now. We look at this game and we say, okay, a win is a win, and that has been kind of the theme so far this year. But the one constant is the questionable play calling of Brian Johnson. For you guys, when is it time to say, okay, next year they need to change? Is it too soon? Do you think that he's going to improve throughout the season, or is Brian Johnson really just not stepping up to the plate? Because it seems like game after game, guys, that's something he's not doing.
I don't know. They're 9-1, and tonight they play without a tight end, and they're playing with a quarterback with a hurt knee. And they, in the first half, obviously they didn't have anything clicking, but in the second half they found something that clicked. So, I think he calls some questionable plays, like those bubble screens to the outside receivers never seem to work. But then he figured it out to get the ball in the hands of DeAndre Swift, and like I say, I don't know what to say about this. I would love to have a perfect offensive coordinator, and every game you go, man, he called a great game, right? Well, that doesn't seem to be the case, but they're 9-1, and they do enough to get it done because the quarterback and the receiver will make a great play when they need it.
You want to know what the greatest asset that, any coach, any coordinator has about himself? Is his ability to adjust, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Because there's no doubt that the Eagles sat back. They had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, and they had a game plan, okay? And the game plan is a game plan and planning a plan for a game is like boxing. Mike Tyson says everybody's got a plan till you get hit in the nose and your eyes start tearing up, okay? So then what's your adjustment? So the Eagles had a plan on offense, they had a plan on defense, and it was not working. They went at halftime, they were down by 10 points, 7-17. They went in and adjusted their plan and came out in the second half and executed on both sides of the ball. And you know what? One of the things that, listen, we need to give some credit to Michael Clay, because last year this time we were killing him, absolutely killing him, okay? And the special teams has been a non-issue this year. We've been talking about the offense and the defense more so than any other phase of the team. But Britton Covey is a able-bodied punt returner, and he is getting it done. Jake Elliott is just money still. The punter, he's kind of up and down from time to time, but he had a couple of boomers tonight. So, when we're talking about, Kayla, you're talking about Brian Johnson and the offense, sometimes your best laid plans kind of go to waste because the guys on the other side have a better plan to stop what you're doing. And let's just be honest, Andy Reid and his staff, they are more seasoned, more mature, have been doing this a lot longer than the guys on our side. But the guys on our side came out on top tonight because they were able to make the adjustment to the adjustment in the second half, something that they weren't able to do in the Super Bowl last year.
Well, because they had Jonathan Gannon and not Sean Desai. I think Sean Desai is a big reason why the Philadelphia Eagles were able to win this game. That brings me to my next point, though, and Seth, I'm going to start with you on this. There we go. We love Sean Desai here.
Right into his hand.
We were talking about at halftime the adjustments need to be made, and consistently throughout the season, besides maybe one or two games, right, Desai is the guy that's been able to do this so far. So what are the adjustments that you're really seeing in the game that he's able to do, whether it's with the secondary, whether it's with that front, whether it's with the Chiefs just dropping the passes because they're not able to connect? Sean Desai just gets this young defense, and it's been working so far throughout the season, a big reason why they're 9-1.
Well, I believe that Sean Desai is more of a guy who likes the pressure than Jonathan Gannon was. And I also believe that he's a guy that likes the pressure a hell of a lot than Nick Sirianni likes for him to pressure, you know. But you have a decision to make as a defensive coordinator. And I always say it, you know, because my mindset is completely different. You know, I'm like, in most people's realm, I'm the guy from the Stone Age, you know. But when you look at it, this is the way, in my opinion, football should be played. It's a violent game. It's a game of aggression. It's a game of my manhood and my will versus yours, okay? So if I'm trying something and it's not working, at some point in time, I have to do the opposite. I can't keep playing bend but don't break, soft style defense all the time when it doesn't work. If my pass rush can't get there because I'm playing my DBs too far off the ball, then guess what? They got to knuckle up and get up. If I'm rushing 4 and I can't get home, then that means that I'm going to have to run some pressures. I'm going to have to run some blitzes. And you're seeing Sean Desai do all of these things that I'm talking about, be able to adjust, because he may start the game off with the cornerbacks off, but he damn sure the last couple of weeks, Mark, he hadn't finished the game that way. He may start off not blitzing, but he blitzed the hell out of Patrick Mahomes tonight. So a lot of things were forced. That's why I talk about turnovers. Turnovers aren't something that just incidentally happens. The game is a game of will, and I have to force my will upon you in order to force you into mistakes and to force turnovers to happen. Guys are just not going, oh, here's a fumble, you know, happy birthday. Oh, you know, here's an interception, you know, have a Merry Christmas. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to make that guy put that ball on the ground. Bradley Roby made him put that ball on the ground, okay? That ball's in the air. Your mindset has to be, that ball belongs to me. Kevin Byard, go get that ball. That's the difference. That's the difference. These guys are making things happen instead of sitting around and waiting for things to happen, and that's the kind of defense we played last year.
The blitz rate acquisitions, by the way, mid-season acquisitions both contributed tonight. Byard and Roby.
Sure.
So big. Sure. That's why you get guys like that make a play.
It's also helpful to have adjustments being made in the front office as well, and that's something that Howie Roseman has obviously done over the course of the last 2 seasons. But the thing that is the biggest difference that I see with Sean Desai is those second half adjustments. I mean, when you look at the blitz rate is actually around the same as it was with Jonathan Gannon. Now it seems like it's a lot more successful.
Well, it'll be
this
up tonight.
Year.
After tonight.
After tonight, I think it's going to take a little bit of a spike. But going into tonight, it was around the same. I think Jonathan Gannon was about 24%, and I think Sean Desai's at about 25%. So slight tick up, and then tonight maybe even more.
I'll bet you a game check. Jonathan Gannon was not 24% last year.
Game
check? Somebody.
Oh, somebody's mocking it up.
Somebody's playing with the numbers.
Okay.
There's
game
no
check?
way in hell.
We talking about your game check or ours?
Our game check. This is a game right here.
Our.
But it is something that you're noticing this year, in terms of getting home with the front four that the Eagles have been able to. And I think a big difference there is just Jalen Carter in general. By the way, we didn't even mention him trying to intercept a spiked ball tonight. That was incredible. But you're seeing that from him, and then seeing a guy like Kevin Byard. 2 asks I had after the bye week. Be the team that knocks. Be the team that every other team in this gauntlet is fearing. And after tonight, it might not have been the cleanest win in the world, but it was still a win. You're still in position to be the best team in the NFL. The other was Kevin Byard adjusting to the secondary. And tonight, you saw him do everything he was supposed to do against Travis Kelce. You saw him do everything he was supposed to do in the red zone. And coming up with that interception was clutch. And yes, Bradley Roby with the punch-out was phenomenal as well.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. We talked about it in the pregame, and I said, this isn't a must-win game for the Eagles, but from a psychological standpoint, it was a must-win game for them. And this gauntlet that we've talked about, Buffalo hasn't looked good. They looked good the other night, but they haven't looked good, up to this point. So the Eagles realizing that they just slayed Goliath, puts them psychologically in a different place to now go and face the Buffalo Bills, the 49ers, go to Dallas, go to Seattle. It puts them in a completely different place, in my opinion. And that's why I felt like this game was a must game from a psychological standpoint, more so than it was a must-win game just from a record standpoint.
And I think a big reason why is Jalen Hurts, and I think all of we can agree with that. 26-1 in his last 27 starts, which is a crazy statistic. This guy goes out there, he finds ways to win. And when you're watching this game, when you were watching Tom Brady, you said, okay, you don't want to give him any time on the clock. He's going to come back and probably score. You could say the same thing about Pat Mahomes. The way that Jalen Hurts, though, was able to put this game to bed and say, listen, A.J. Brown might not be happy with what he's getting here today, but Devontae Smith is the guy. Do you think that was a Jalen Hurts stand of saying, I'm going to go to what works, and that's been Devontae? Do you think that's a coaching staff, or does Jalen kind of have that groove now and that say to be like, we're going to go to what works, this is what's flowing right now, and this is how we're going to win the ball game?
Listen, with Dallas got it out, you just knew that the targets were going to go up for Devontae anyway, you know. And, you know, I'm looking at, you know, the commentary here in the live chat while we're actually doing the show. And it's interesting to me how some people are like, oh, you know, Seth, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, Snead, you know, A.J. Brown ate Snead up. Come on, man. The numbers speak for itself. 4 targets, 1 catch. You know, dude was doing something right. And, yeah, you can talk about the fact that, yeah, he had him beat on that route, but he ran the wrong route. That's what turned into the interception by Hurts. If he runs the right route, maybe he have 2 receptions instead of just 1. You know, but the truth of the matter is, listen, this team has figured out, you know, how to get it done when they need to get it done. And I've always said, Jalen Hurts, I don't know what his numbers were on the night. He threw the ball
14 for 22 for 150.
So 22 times. Normally he's right around the 35 to 37, you know, attempts per game mark. Obviously that was different because, you know, the rushing attempts were way up. We ran the ball more than we actually threw the ball for a change tonight. But the issue is that when he throws the ball 30-plus times, normally A.J. Brown gets 15. He gets at least 50% of those targets. And I've been saying all year long, there's nothing wrong with what A.J. is doing. It's phenomenal, the pace that he's been on. But you got to start targeting some of these other guys, and Devontae is too good to only get 2 or 3 targets in a game. You got to figure out a way to get him involved and get him the ball and make defenses start worrying about where he is and what he's doing, and then that's just going to open up more, in my opinion, for A.J. Brown. You know, but without Dallas, you know, let me see, how many DeAndre Swift had, you know, 3 targets, 3 catches. I think all of those were in the first half, you know. So he's another guy that needs to get the ball more out of the backfield.
Hello.
And welcome
To the Diamond Debate
with Liam and Hillary
in the heart of Montgomeryville, PA at Mark's Jewelers.
So what do you got for us today, Hillary?
Well, Liam, to kick off this football season, there's no deflate gate here. There's a 3-carat oval diamond. It's earth mined and it's completely natural. What do you think of that?
Now that's stunning. I mean, millions of years under the Earth's crust for something so small and beautiful.
You think she's small?
Well, I mean, do you have anything bigger?
Of course, I've got bigger.
I mean, bigger's always better.
That's what they say. Well, I've got an earth mined natural 5-carat oval diamond. Is that big enough for you?
Wow.
5 carats?
That's a carat a finger. That's something right there. I can't imagine anybody saying no to one of these.
No, I guess not.
Do you have anything smaller, maybe?
Smaller is subtle and definitely beautiful still, and it's still fabulous. An earth mined oval diamond set in a solitaire setting. This comes in 14-carat yellow and white, 18-carat yellow, white, and platinum. Any way you want it. What do you think?
I mean, any way you want it. I can't imagine it any better, any different way.
That's right. So come down and see us here at Mark's Jewelers, where love grows here.
Every day of the week except Mondays and Sundays.
That's right. We're closed.